Hi, this is Shirish Kulkarni, CEO and founder of Truth Consultech, a business consulting company and helping small and medium businesses with this humble initiative, social initiative called as Hatke. We are talking to various industry personalities, leaders, thought leaders, eminent personalities in this space, and getting guidance from them. We have a great pleasure to have none other than Mr. Ravi Pandit. Great to have Raviji with us. Thanks so much.
Thank you. My pleasure, Shirish. My pleasure.
Thanks to really have taken time in this um, your tough schedule that you have. I'll just try to start in this way. I heard you saying that CAs are restless. So, so I wanted to start with this saying that how do you look at restlessness in you, and how does it help being innovative, creative, and the way that you've laid down the whole journey that for you.
Yeah. Now, restlessness is good or bad depending on who you looks at it. Those who are working with very closely with you, for them, I think beyond the stage, restlessness is too much of a problem. So, but I think it is good for the person who is restless because something creative, something new comes out of that restlessness. And I think that is the spirit of innovation. That's the spirit of creativity in every human being. And I like it.
Wonderful. It's about not being satisfied. That always looking for perfection is the key to success, where you kind of push yourself to the next level.
Right.
Imminent. So, talking about the current scenario in organizations, do you think that organizations should look at this situation in a Hatke, differentiated way, as we call it? Do you think that organizations should?
I think Shirish, there is an opportunity in every challenge, and no doubt today's conditions are terrible, and that they are affecting many people in a very bad way, in a very undesirable way. But I think we should also look at it as a point of pivoting, as a point of changing. Mm-hmm. I think the societies can change dramatically. So if you were to look at, especially Europe now, for example, they are looking at the current problem as a way to begin a new clean energy future. The amount of money that they are investing in clean energy is just phenomenal.
Right.
I think in India, we can look at it as a completely different way to look at our urban areas as well as rural areas. The government has opened the rural markets, and I think 10, 12 years down the line, we will look at the current decisions of this government on rural products and rural, tenanting and marketing, etc., as an extraordinary action. So similarly, I think we have to really use this occasion as a time to build new urban India. Because, I don't know if you know, but in many of our large cities, in less than 5% of the area, more than 30% of the people stay. So our slums are a scourge. And so I think this is the time we can look at it as a change. At a company level, I think this is also an area where great innovation can happen. I think this is the area where a company can decide its strategy properly, find out one single area where it can do exceedingly well, and really become strong. It's also the time when they can really look at their teams, they can look at their product portfolio, etc. Large companies can also look at it as a point of doing some social service. For example, KPIT has come out with a ventilator. Actually, it's rated as one of the best in over 600 ventilators which entered the Marico contribution.
It won the innovation award also, right? It won the
Yes. So we are not in medical equipment business, but I think country needs ventilators, and our team came forward and did it. So the way, in my opinion, is look at every challenge as an opportunity and figure out a way of doing different things. And I think there is ample opportunity for us to come out stronger, better, as a company, as a country, as a society.
Superb, nicely said. I think it's an opportunity whenever you get pressed to the wall. I think need is definitely a mother of invention, as it is said. So I think it's a time we should look at ourselves, reinvent ourselves, companies, and government is
Yes,
also doing it. So I think it's a great blessing.
that's
That's there.
that's
Another dimension that you've been dabbling into for years together is the amalgamation of IT, information technology, and engineering. So, what's your perspective, and how does it actually pan now, where companies have absolute focus on engineering, and it's all coming together, right?
yes, yes. So uh, they say that software is eating the world. Hmm? So what is actually happening is that almost everything in the world is becoming, so to say, intelligent. So our vehicles are intelligent so that you don't try to drive, they can drive on their own. Our vehicles are intelligent because they can consume fuel in a very economical way so that, it becomes much better. Our vehicles can be intelligent because they can be connected with the rest of the world, etc. So intelligence at the lowest level is something that is going to happen in the world, which means that what was generally treated as only IT, which is really commercial software, has to now connect with engineering software. And we strongly believe that the world needs a lot more engineering for it to be a cleaner, safer, connected, and better place. And we think, therefore, there is a huge opportunity for growth in the engineering software. We started initially as a general purpose IT company, and we took the company to about $600 million. And then we realized that a large part of the company was an undifferentiated IT services company.
Hmm.
And we knew that in a market where there are companies who are as big as 20 billion dollars, surely a small company has no future. So we made a big change, and we are now focused exclusively on engineering software, exclusively for the automotive industry, where we can now be considered as leaders. So we feel that the connectivity between the IT and engineering is deep, but I think each area has its own areas of growth and specialization. We are extremely happy to have made this strategic choice.
Superb. I think um, for a company, for the way that competition can be said is that if competitor refers you as the biggest competitor,
Yes.
is a win for the organization, right?
Yeah. So actually, this is very interesting what you said. In the last 1 year, we had two very large global tier ones come to us, and we had not gone to sell anything to them. And so we asked them, why did you come to us? So they said that we wanted to do automotive engineering in India. We went to some 6 large companies. You name the biggest IT companies, and they went to all of them, and they asked all of them, who do you consider as the strongest competitor? Each one of them said KPIT, and that's when they came to KPIT. So I think building that position is very, very important, and I think we are at the cusp of that. We are beginning to do that.
What a great feeling, actually. It's an amazing way to define, how you are differentiated, and it is defined by the competitor himself.
Yes.
Talking further, one dimension of, as we call it, as a mobility or e-mobility, or the space of electric and hybrid vehicles. There is a lot of buzz happening, and some OEMs, some engineering organizations are playing it on the boundary. Some are committed. There is some movement on two-wheeler, three-wheeler side. There is some movement on the higher heavy vehicle side also. How do you look
Yes.
at that development as such?
So, Shirish, 30 years from now, people will look back and say that, for almost 100 years, we ran the world of transportation on fossil fuels. What a shameful thing it was.
Oh my God. Hmm.
And people will all move towards electric vehicles. Now, electric vehicles can be either battery electric vehicles or fuel cell electric vehicles. We believe that a lot of personal transport and a lot of transport inside the cities may be on the basis of battery electric vehicles. But a lot of transport which is long distance, whether inside or outside the cities, will happen through fuel cell electric vehicles. None of them will come up with any kind of a pollution that plagues most of our cities today. Now, all over the world, cities are having highly polluted air, and at least 20-30% of that is the contribution of the transport sector. So we believe that the world is going to change. We are fortunate that we are at the right time, at the right place, because I believe in India, you can innovate and you can come up with new technologies for electric mobility. You can do it at much lesser cost. You can do it much faster, and you have a very large market. So we are extremely bullish about this change in the world of transportation. Next 10 years in the world of transportation will be dramatically different than the last 100 years. Last time the industry changed this much was when Henry Ford came up with Model T in 1918, 1919 or so, 100 years ago.
Right.
So we are at the cusp of an extraordinary change.
Superb. And how do you see even oil industry or oil companies at the larger space also looking at it in a different way, right?
Yes. Almost if you were to look at all the major oil companies, whether it is Total or Shell or BP or Exxon, they're all saying they want to be clean companies, zero carbon emission companies. So they are looking at new fuels like hydrogen. They are looking at cleaning up their own operations, and they want to use oil for specialty chemicals. So they will all be in business, but it will be a different business. And I think the whole world will be grateful for this change.
Yeah. Wonderful. I think just to circle back, great to have you. I did not want to, I know that you have limited time. So rounding it off, I never wanted to stop this discussion, but any organization gets built on trust, long-term relationship, and eventually expectation setting, and you exceed the expectation as such. What's your message to the individuals or entrepreneurs or MSME individuals who are kind of finding this a little bit lull? There is no revenue. So what's your message for them to build it, use of digital, and maybe moving forward, new normal? How do you for them to see a new normal as something that they can look at?
Yes. So these are tough times, but these are also the times to rejuvenate. I think this is the time to look at your customer differently. This is the time to look at your product, your production process, and your supply chain. And see, this wave will go in another 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the world is not going to live with COVID for all times to come. Okay, things will come up again. But the issue will be, how did we use these 6 months or so in the best possible way? And I think companies can streamline their operations, look at their product portfolio. This may be the time where every one of us will get a little longer time to deal with the issues that they did not have time earlier. I meet a lot of industrialists and a lot of small-scale industrialists who are also saying that, this is a time I got to think afresh about everything that I'm doing. And I think this is a great time to reimagine yourself and to give your company a rebirth.
Wonderful. I think very nice way to conclude it, to reinvent, reimagine yourself, your company, and get a new birth. I think I cannot have words for you to thank you, Raviji, for your time. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And we all wish you to, be more energetic, be bubbling like as you are, and be restless in a positive sense to really keep driving this world.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thank you.
बिजनेस कोई भी हो, सक्सेस की नींव हम रखते हैं।
बुलंदियों को छूने की आपके अरमानों की उम्मीद जगाती जोत है, हर सपनों का हम स्रोत है।
सही स्ट्रेटेजी, परफेक्ट डिसीजन मेकिंग और बिजनेस ग्रोथ के लिए हम आपके साथ कंधे से कंधा मिलाकर आपकी स्वप्न पूर्ति करते हैं। स्त्रोत कंसल्टेक, सिनर्जाइजिंग ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन।